Hello guys, I'm back again with another video. In this video I'll show you how to create a simple UWP application that you can track file change in runtime. So let's get started. First I have to select a blank app, Universal Windows, and name this project. Give it a name, file change tracker sample. Okay, fine. Location, set a location. Did I click here? That's it. So I will use this 17134 version. For this sample I will copy and paste some code, so please don't be mind. I will explain which function do which function does what. Okay, first of all I have to design my app, like a background, apply background, etc. Use background, acrylic, in the brush, and there is grid. In grid I will apply. Let's have some components like a stack panel. So and in this stack panel I will add a button. Let me add folder button. Let's click it. Text. Whatever the text is, the orientation is a horizontal. Actually give it margin. Also give it margin. Wait a second. And I want to copy some code from my this project. So what this lines of code does subcode do is actually extend the acrylic view uh, to the top and make the title bar transparent. So I'm getting a title bar from this function get current view of core application object. Okay, so core title bar, I got the title bar, then set the extended view into title bar is equal to true. Okay, and I am also title I think I don't need this for the moment, so let's see what happens. Okay, I got transparent, and then at the top I got the button in here, so I have to change them, and I got this as a white background. So yes, I think I have to apply those things. So sorry. Yes, so current view dot get title bar dot background. So this Windows dot user interface will plan. This application view is, I think I don't need the application view. What if I say core title bar and eliminate this? What happens? Okay, so it doesn't have the button background color. So after, so application view dot get for current view, okay, dot title bar, application view title bar, and what is its core application view title bar, and this one returns application view title bar. So the two things are different from each other. Okay, so app title bar transparent. So let's make this. Okay, now my button backgrounds are transparent, so now I have to fix them. I can edit the code in runtime, so let's see, let's do this. So it must be in vertical alignment is center, horizontal alignment is center, and button content must be add folder. Yeah, they're perfect. Now I have to apply them center, center, Ctrl C and Ctrl D. Perfect. So what is my intention is I will add the folder by clicking this button, and when the folder adds, it will add file change event, and then if I change the files from in my that selected directory or selected folder, and it will change the count number, like 4 5 6 7, how many files have changed or how many times the event fired. Okay, so I can get a simple type of notification. So let's do this. So for runtime notification, I need to add some more functionality like this. So yes, notify property change, if any property change, so that I can get notified. You can copy with this, you can save this codes, because every time in real life you are gonna do the same thing, so you can store somewhere or can store them as code snippet. Okay. I have to add a property like private integer count, event count like this, and then that's a public property. Okay. So this is a public property and this is a private field. So what happens in this property, if I want to check the value of the under specified count, it will return by this method, get method. And if I want to add something to event count, I can add by set method, and when the set method begins, it will add the under specified count field and then call a method raise property change. What this property method will do, this method will just fire a event property changed event, this interface property, sorry, interface event. Okay, so that app will update the value from the run while it's running. So yeah. So I have to add a folder picker. So in from this session I can get the folder. That's fine. So I have to add them. So it's a folder picker now. So and the folder picker is list, view mode is list, okay, desktop preferred location is desktop, okay, whatever the folder is, okay, filter type stores. So what this add folder button click even do, it will let me add a folder. Then if the folder is not equal to null, it will create a thread which is a kind of multi-thread. And because I don't want to hang the app for some time or some moments, so it may confuse the user, so I will create different thread, and that different thread will handle other stuff. If it takes some kind of time, it can take. I don't want to run those codes in my whatever user interface thread, what it calls like that, whatever. So okay, it's a folder picker. And so what this is a folder picker object. Okay, I create a folder picker object, then a view mode is a list, folder picker view mode is a list, or you can say whatever optional thumbnail or list. Okay, list. And then for suggestion start location, you can start location give start desktop, or you can compute folder, the document library, etc. Give it the desktop. I want to begin from the desktop. Then folder picker, file type filter. It's a file type filter. If you want to see some files in the folder picker. You can suppose I want to see only the images, JPG images, you can add the filters. Okay, so I want to see all things. So, but I believe you cannot see any files because it's a folder picker. It will only show you folders, so it doesn't matter, I think, if we add anything or not. And the folder picker gives a single folder picking option. By calling this method, picks single folder async, and it's an asynchronous function, and I will wait for the response. So when I select a folder, it will give it will return back to this line of code, and then I will start another thread. So if folder is not equal to null, then I will add. Okay, let's copy another lines of code. So let's add a method add folder. I think so. Add folder. So void. So first of all, what I'm gonna do, I need to add the folder, right? Yes. Stores folder, then folder. Okay. So first of all, I need to add the folders location into storage application permission object, because in future I want to search for that folder and search for the files and under that folder. So if I do without this permission, I may get the exception like permission denied. Yeah. So for if that exception doesn't happen again in future, I have to add the folder in the future access list. So I need to add some kind of a token. Okay. So token like folder count, so even count, yes, dot toString. So this is a token. Yeah, the token is like a string, so you must give it a string value, and I'm gonna give it a 1 or 0 or 3 to 1, whatever the string value comes from the event count. And why I did this, why I'm doing this, because I don't want to add a custom string, or you can also add like token, folder token, variable folder token, gg folder. So let's use the gg folder. Okay, sorry, what I'm going So folder token, yes, I can use this folder token as a default token. So whenever I add another folder, it will just replace that folder location. Oh, sorry, folder token. Yeah. So this is a folder history. So reason. I don't want to add the reason in here. It's not a kind of a use code lines of code. So I need the filters, and then I need the query option. So why I'm giving a filter and which type of file I'm gonna grab, like audio file, mp3 and wma extension files. Okay, so and I have to create a query option for file query, and that query option I have to add some query options value like common file query order by name, and add the file filter type. So when I get any files from that folder, I will not get the all type of files. I will just only get mp3 and wma type files. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is folder dot create file query with options. Yes, so query option, and it will return me a file folder query. Okay, so what kind, this is a storage file query result. It's a query result. Give me a query result, and what I'm gonna do with this query result, I'm gonna folder query dot get files async. So whenever I apply a what keyword or use asynchronous action method, I have to also use the root method as asynchronous. So I got a query, and then query option query dot files. And how the code will run like folder depth, it will folder depth like a deep. So if I have a nested folder, it will also collect the files from that nested folders. Okay, so yes, get file system. So for if any file changed, I have to add the content changed event, folder query content changed. Okay, so get file system pass. And after that I have to run get file system. So yeah, that's it. So make my code neat and clean so that I feel comfortable looking at my code. So you like it. Now it feels neat and clean, I believe so. Now it's neat and clean, looking really great. Okay. So I got the folder, then query content changed, okay, content changed. So first of all, I want to see the how many times it called. Okay. Now I will add text block as bind even count mode one way. In here text is bind to the event count and then mode is one way. And why I'm using this mode, because if I don't use mode I think I may not get the updated value. So it's good practice if you use mode one way or two way. One way means the value will only update from the backend, and if and two way means it will update from the backend and from the front end as well. And if I use like one time, it will just only update from one time. And if I don't use this, it by default it is always one time. So mode is one way. And appearance, it is always event count is equal to 0. I can give it to 0, or if I don't use 0, it is always 0, because this is not a nullable. So if I don't use nullable, it is always 0 by default. So yes. So in this thread I'm gonna give it run like add folder like folder. That's it. And add folder, add in the folder files, and then this section I will use. So if I want to change the event count, I change with the dispatcher. Okay, because if I don't use dispatcher, it will throw throw an exception. Okay, because why? Because I'm doing this from another thread, not the user interface thread. So I have to use dispatcher dot run async, and then I have to apply code dispatcher priority is like normal, as run as normal, and then apply a method in this method. I will increase the event count. Step point. Okay. if everything okay or not. I think everything's fine. Yeah, let's see. Let's check it. So by default it is 0. So if I add a folder like test case and then import. Yeah. So it is fired one time. Why it is fired one time? Because once I get the folder, it is by default one. Okay, so I didn't change any files in that folder, but it is fired already for one time. Okay, so now I want to change something from this test case. So did I use imported? I think so. So let's see. I delete three things. Artist, okay, from imported. Yes, it fired three times. Yes. Now if I restore them, it like four times. So yes, like I want to delete them all. It five. So suppose I want to change its change deliver change its value details. Suppose title delivery custom. So yes, it fires one another time. Okay, nice. Like I just cannot understand again why it first fired three times and yeah, add the folder, import it, and then just like student. It fired two times. Okay, I see. Now, what happens if I use like like a lock system? Okay, so because as you know it is a multi-thread and to wait for different threads. Suppose I want to when continuously or simultaneously runs all the thread, I want to make them uh, in a queue, so one by one the thread will run this code. Okay, so what happens, I will use the lock keyword, and for that I have to use an object, private object like lock object. Okay, and then so lock object. Oh, think wait a second. Wait. No, no. not like this. Hidden count. This one. And I have to use locking here. Lock object. One thing you must know that lock object doesn't allow asynchronous method. Okay. What it says cannot await in the body of a locking statement. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is a very simple thing. Use this. So now it is not asynchronous. I can eliminate this word. So yeah, let's see what happens now. Import it. Hello cannot be null. Okay. Oh, now I got it. The lock object is null. I have to use a new object. It is this. So now I delete them. Let me delete fast of refresh, and then I want to delete some files from here. You see, it tried 3 times, but I delete more than 3 files. Okay, I don't know why it is happening. Let me check. So if I delete, okay, if I like this one, and 7, okay, great. I mean, I think it waits for a kind of interval. If if something happens after that interval, it will count another one. Okay, and if those actions happens within that interval, it doesn't count another one. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so let's see what happens if I delete all. Okay, all. Yeah, it counted one time. Okay. What happens if I again restore them? 9, no? Okay. It counted 10. Okay. Great. So guys, that is for this video. I hope you have got some kind of idea about how to get notified if any files changes uh, in in the specified location. So thanks for watching. Subscribe and like my video if you think I'm great. So, goodbye guys.